obligarnos a tener que ir hasta Loma Linda, especialmente con el costo.
We're here today outside Mary Bono Mack's office to show support for veterans and for Native people. This is the Spanish television station. And here's the group of veterans and occupiers and PDA and Move On people. And we're all standing outside of Mary Bono Mack's office.
Will you go to the Veterans Expo Saturday in Indio from 9 to 1 and pass out flyers against Mary Bono's voting record?
Sure, but
it's in Indio at the fairgrounds.
may not be the whole time because we have a GA at 10. I get somebody else will run.
We do have media here from Channel 6, as well as from, that's KMIR in Palm Springs. We're just starting to assemble.
I think he is overwhelmed, but I wanted to make sure.
Mary Bono out! Mary Bono out! Mary Bono out! Mary Bono out! Mary Bono out!
Mary Bono out. What camera is that?
OTO out. We need a reason.
Channel 3's here and
Channel 6.
Channel 6 and 3. Hey, Daryl. Hi.
Okay. Yes, introduce yourself.
I'm Tom Swan, SWANN. I'm a past assistant governor of American Veterans and Vets. I'm a member of the American Legion, Disabled American Veterans, Blinded Veterans Association, and other veteran groups. And I'm here today. We're not-for-profit. Veteran groups are not-for-profit. So we're not here to endorse Dr. Ruiz or endorse Mary Bono Mack. We're here to just talk about our record. And my main concern is that Mary Bono Mack has voted twice for the Paul Ryan budget in the House of Representatives. And that budget will drastically cut VA healthcare funding. And it could possibly close the Palm Desert VA outpatient clinic where I get my medical care. And if that closes, that would require me to go to Loma Linda, which is an hour and a half away. So that would be sad if that happened. And also, she voted against the Veteran Jobs Bill. And she supports privatization of the VA healthcare system, which would be a disaster. So we think that the veterans need to look at her record and vote on November 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Boy, that sun's bright.
Go right ahead.
Well, my name is Paula Kaplan. I'm a Harvard psychologist, but I'm also in Palm Desert a lot of the time. And I'm an advocate for veterans. I have the Welcome Johnny and Jane Home Coalition, which includes every group from the Military Officers Association of America to Soldiers' Heart to the National Veterans Foundation to Iraq Veterans Against the War. So there's a huge spectrum there politically. And what I'm about, and what my book is about, this is a book that won the award for Best Psychology Book of the Year from the Association of American Publishers. And here's the message of this book. The message of this book is that whatever your politics and however you feel about war or any particular war, veterans are coming back, and even veterans from World War II and all the wars since then, they are so isolated. And when they're suffering because of what war has done to them, what do? As a whole country, we're saying, oh, it's a mental illness. It's not a mental illness to be devastated by war. And so what we need is for veterans to be reconnected with their community. We are a war-illiterate country. most Americans have no idea what war really is. And so as long as our government keeps sending Americans to war, every civilian has a responsibility to learn what war really is. And the only way we can do that is by each of us listening to the story of a veteran from some war. It's life-changing for them because it means somebody wants to listen to what they've experienced at war and how it's been difficult to try to come home. And it's life-changing for the listener. We found this in a study that we did at Harvard Kennedy School of having civilians, not therapists, just ordinary people, just listen quietly to a veteran's story. And what the civilians tell us is it transforms their lives. They learn more about what it's like to confront matters of life and death and moral anguish in ways that most of us never will have to. And so by connecting with vets, civilians learn more about their own humanity. And we all have a responsibility. This is a democracy. When our government does something, we all have to help the people that we send to be involved in it. Now, I'm here today at Congresswoman Mary Bono Mack's office because I'm alarmed. I don't know how anybody who is supposed to be informed about the needs of veterans can be voting for the Ryan budget, which means probably the Palm Desert Veterans Center is going to be closed down. I have spent a long time at that center meeting with the people who work there. They're wonderful. They don't say when a veteran comes in and is suffering, they don't say, well, you're crazy, you're mentally ill. They say, we will listen. We will put you in touch with other vets and you can talk together about your shared experiences. It's essential for this center to stay open. I don't know how Congresswoman Mack can vote against combat pay increases for veterans. I don't know how she can vote against a jobs bill that would help veterans. So whoever people are going to vote for, we need to keep the needs of the people who have, whatever your politics, they have gone because they wanted to serve our country, and we need to keep their needs foremost in our minds and really help them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In addition to his family, his wife gave birth yesterday to their second child. So he's out, and when you have a situation, when your district director is out for a while on a medical situation, you need to make sure the office is
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling that. On medical.
Yeah.
So, actually, paternity. His wife's on medical. Baby boy. 8 pounds or 8 pounds, 7 ounces. So now I thought you said you had a question.
Yeah, I got a very important question, and Luke can articulate that a lot better because he represents the press as well.
Well, that's it. I was wondering if she was going to come to the Veterans Forum and answer some of the questions that the veterans have about some of her votes, if she's going to take answers or whether she's just going to make a presentation.
I don't know exactly what the schedule looks like for that, but I understood that she was planning to attend, so I'll double check and make sure that's true.
Tell her thank you very much.
I have another question too, and this has been kind of going around the people there. They've been asking if Mary Bono has had a hand in any of the spontaneous actions that are happening in front of Raul Ruiz's office.
Which ones are those?
You don't know about it? You haven't heard?
No.
And demonstrating in front.
Oh, demonstrating right in front of the
But
office.
really bad, saying bad things.
Listen, we've dealt with that as well. We get a lot of that in our office. We have people come over here and say
tell
stuff
me, we
that's
just
not
had
true.
Here we are.
We just had a press conference.
We're awful people.
This was for
Truth to
veterans,
power.
really.
Well, maybe we'll just say that we'll respectfully disagree on whether some things are true or not true.
It's true.
So, sometimes it's an interpretation, So, but people are always welcome to
I
express
do
their
have
opinion.
another question that I thought you were going to ask, but is she at all worried about blowback from the local tribes because of her comments about Native Americans?
Which comments are those?
The ones where she's basically saying most of the Indian councils in the country actually support the American Indian movement, and by her portraying it as a terrorist organization, I know that the local tribes. I've talked to several members of the local tribes, and they're pretty upset about her comments. Is she worried that that could have any negative impact?
About smashing
There's a few folks who've been better friends to the tribes. The Congresswoman, she's a co-chair of the Native American Caucus. She's single-handedly been the person responsible for a number of major settlements that have benefited tribes, including major water settlements. So she's got a long record with the tribes, and she knows she's got many good friends with the tribes. Unfortunately, some of the way people try to characterize this issue is not about the true issue, which is about somebody who made comments that happened to be at a tribal protest involving somebody who murdered 2 FBI agents, and also not alleged. He's actually convicted, and every single one of his convictions was upheld. Every single time he had an appeal, no appeal was ever. Well, you may know, but I'm just telling you that the court determined this guy was a murderer.
But is reading a letter written by another person about something that happened in another state,
again,
does that actually make it true?
You can argue all you want
Because
about what his comments were.
I heard that Mary read the Communist Manifesto at USC.
What about the
Does
cops
that
that
make
are
her a
showing?
Marxist?
Yeah, what about the cops that are showing up
I just
saying they represent the police department?
I would refer you to the audio tape where he clearly made the comments.
Oh, exactly. He
And
was
so-
reading a letter written by another person about something that had happened 11 years earlier in another state.
Obviously, I'm not going to change your opinion. I'm happy that you guys
I'm just
see it
saying,
differently because everyone's entitled to opinion.
If she read something like the Communist Manifesto, would that then make her a Marxist?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on your hypothesis. All I'm
Well,
going to say is that we have an
It's
audio
the same
tape.
as reading somebody else's letter.
It's truth to power, and I guys like truth because truth